First time, I'm not gonna lie, I'll blame us because we was a little gullible, whatever, or you know, we was acting like New Yorkers. Basically, they tried to charge 4K. He asked us, both of us, if we had PayPal. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Miriam, Yummy, Yum Yum, whatever you want to call me. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button because you're gonna love it. And if you're returning, you're back for a reason. So what's goody? Today's video is gonna be a story time that is long overdue, like literally long overdue. But every time I try to sit down and record, I never find the time. But today I'm like, y'all need to hear this story ASAP. So as you guys know, I came from Panama like 2 or 3 weeks ago for my friend's 24th birthday. Happy birthday to her again. The Panama vlog will be dropping soon, so make sure you check that out. And I literally, well, not I, but we literally got robbed twice. Okay, don't get me wrong, I'm not judging the entire country, but I'm just telling you guys this story from my experience, and I just feel like you guys should know. First time, I'm not gonna lie, I'll blame us because we was a little gullible, whatever, or you know, we was acting like New Yorkers. I was in a different country, and usually when I travel, like, I leave the New York in New York because, you know, in New York City we're a little aggressive, a little mean, extra, all that, and I don't want to go to a different country acting all ratchet or whatever. So I usually try to be like extra nice and stuff, and every time I travel I usually feel super safe and comfortable. But I'm not gonna lie, while I was in Panama I definitely felt super uncomfortable and I was ready to go back home. I'm gonna stop chatting because I know y'all want to know the story, so boom. I'm gonna explain the first time we got robbed, but I'm not gonna explain it in full detail. Basically, we went out one night and we came back, and when we woke up we realized that we had been robbed. My wallet was in my purse, and that's the purse that I went out with. But in the morning time when I opened up my bag, my wallet was open inside my purse and my cash was all gone. Literally, I had $400 in cash. Don't ask me why I went out with $400 because I really don't even know myself. The night we were leaving, I was contemplating like, damn, you don't need $400, but I'm like, I'm gonna just bring it, whatever. And my friend Hawa, they literally used her debit card, guys. Like, they stole her debit card. Our stuff was literally in our bags, okay? Our stuff was in our bags. They stole her debit card. They used her debit card at the car wash, at McDonald's. And what actually made us realize that we got robbed was that as we were laying in the bed discussing our night, like, yo, we had mad fun, like, yada yada yada, she gets a text from her bank, like, you know those fraud texts they be texting you, like, hey, if this is you, press yes, no. Basically they try to charge 4K. If that 4K would have went through, that would have been crazy, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, so they stole her debit card, they stole my cash, and honestly, I think it was our taxi driver. We were told that it was our taxi driver, and we took a yellow cab that day, which I don't recommend if you're going to Panama. I feel like you should take an Uber because you could track the Uber, etc. Or you could take a taxi with your hotel, which is probably the safest because, like, they're usually like responsible for all that. But boom, let's get to the second time we got robbed. Now, after the first time, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be really cautious. That's when I'm like, all right, I'm gonna bring the New Yorker out of me. I'm not gonna be nice to nobody. I felt unsafe and uncomfortable, so I'm like, all right, cool. Like, now I'm on bad timing. So the second time we got robbed, guys, this one really took me out the roof because I really believed this man. Let me drink my kombucha because my throat's getting a little dry. Say this story nice and slow so y'all can really understand me. So me and Hawa, we stayed at the W Hotel, and across the street from our hotel there was a Hooters, and we had went there the first night we got, well, the first day we got there, and it was really good. So the night before we left, we like, all right, we're gonna go there to eat dinner because they chicken wings and burgers was busting. So we was like, all right, we're gonna go there to eat dinner and then we're gonna go out, whatever. So we got dressed. I think it was around like 6 p.m. We're like, all right, we're gonna go to Hooters real quick. So as we're walking to Hooters, we see this black guy in front of us, but we're not really paying attention to him because at that point he's irrelevant in our lives. Sorry, there's a car driving past really loud. So where was I? All right, so we see a black man. He's walking ahead of us in the direction of Hooters, and at this point he's irrelevant to our lives. So we're just walking, talking. We hear him on the phone. He's speaking English like to a T. Like, he doesn't have no accent, nothing. He's on the phone and he's like, yeah, I had to download a translator app because everyone here speaks Spanish, yada yada yada. But we minding our business, we having our own conversation. speaking about? I don't even know. But then as we get closer to him, he's like, oh, hey ladies, how you guys doing? We're like, we're good, how are you? He's like, he's all right. And he's like, oh, where are you guys from? And usually that's a pretty common question, like, for tourists. So we're like, we're from New York. And he's like, oh, okay, he's from he's in the military and he's from Germany or something like that. And we're like, oh, okay. He's like, how's your stay so far? We're like, it's going pretty good. What about you? He says, he's like, my stay, like, he's like, man, he just got in last night from Germany, which is where his military base is, or wherever he said. I don't really remember, but I'm pretty sure it was Germany. How, you could correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, he's like, just came, I landed last night from Germany. I took a yellow cab at the airport, and as we were going to my hotel, the yellow cab driver stopped to get gas. So when the cab driver stopped to get gas, I got out the car and I went into the gas station because I had to use the bathroom. Okay, that should have been red flag number one, but clearly we didn't catch it, right? Because who leaves a yellow cab with all your stuff in a different country that you don't know? But of course we didn't catch it. So we're like, okay, I'm listening. Then he's like, and when he leaves the gas station bathroom, by the time he gets out, the yellow cab driver is driving off with his stuff, right? All his stuff is in the car. His wallet, his suitcase, his laptop, everything. He only had his phone. And he's like, he tried to run the yellow cab down, but then his phone dropped and cracked. He even showed us the crack on his screen. I'm not even gonna say nothing. So I'm like, oh my God. And being that, our first night there, we also got robbed by a yellow cab driver. So I'm like, OMG, us too. Like, they stole our money, our car. And he's like, yeah, man, he's having such a rough day. He slept at the police station last night. And they tried to find the yellow cab driver, but apparently the license plate that I had on his car was not registered to the actual vehicle. So yada, yada, yada. So I'm like, we're feeling so bad for him. And it's really, really because, like, we literally got robbed, like, legit. So it's like, damn, like, another person, a black man, getting robbed. And then we're walking, and now we get to the stop where we're gonna cross the street to Hooters. So I stop and I'm like, oh wait, I want to finish the story before we part our ways. Then he's like, oh, where you guys headed? And we're like, oh, we're going to Hooters. He's like, me too. But I'm not gonna lie, now that I'm thinking back at it, you wasn't going to Hooters, because he looked like he was going straight. But when I said we're going to Hooters, he said him too. So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So we all go to Hooters. We get inside. Howard asks him if he wants to sit with us. He says yes. So we sit with him. And you look like me, so I'm not thinking much of it, you know? So yeah, so we sit with him. Then he's like, oh, he's trying to have someone at his military base buy him a flight so he can go to Honduras, which is the nearest military base, so that he can get a passport, because you know you can't travel without a passport. So he needed to get a new passport. He also needed money. He didn't have any money. He said he took a flight to Panama and was going actually to Costa Rica. That was his final destination, to see his parents, but he stopped in Panama first. I wish I took a picture of him, guys, so I could really put it in this video, right? All right, cool. So he's like, he might have to sell his wedding ring, and I'm like, your wedding ring? He's like, yeah, because I mean, not sell, pawn it, because he only has $11 in cash on him, and you know, he doesn't have a hotel because he can't check into his hotel because he doesn't have no ID, he doesn't have anything. So I'm just like we're literally feeling bad for him. And I definitely did text Howard, because I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit traumatized, right? So I texted Howard at the dinner table, like, I'm not gonna lie, ever since our first night, I'm a little traumatized. So like, I kind of believe him, but I'm also on the edge a little bit. And she's like, no, this story, like, he's being like, this is genuine. And I'm like, okay, cool, because I'm like, all right, if she agrees with me that it's not genuine, then we on the same page. But if she says it is, I'm like, all right, cool, like, maybe I'm just traumatized, because I really was traumatized since the first night, right? So he's saying he has to sell his wedding ring, and he's asking us, like, if you were in my shoes, what would you do? And I'm like, honestly, you have no choice. You have to pawn your wedding ring, like, unless you're gonna be homeless in a different country. And he's like, his military base is trying to get him a flight, but he needs a passport number, because he doesn't have his passport. He doesn't have a passport number. So they wrote down his military ID number and told him that if he goes to the airport with his military ID number and shows it to the people at the airport, be able to print him out of his flight. But he has to pay for the flight, right, at the airport, but he ain't have no money. So in my head, I'm like, I'm not playing for no grown man's fight. I'm sorry, I don't know you. Like, I feel bad for you, but I don't know you. So he's calling up some people, like, you know, like, it seemed legit, guys, like, literally. So then after a while, he asks Hawa if she has PayPal. He asks both of us if we have PayPal. And I have PayPal, but I was like, nah, because no, I don't know. I said no. And Howard said yes. So he's like, okay, so can I PayPal you when you take it out the ATM? And she said sure. So then he gets her email. He gets her email and was like, okay, he's gonna PayPal her. Then he opens up his PayPal and he shows us, he's like, damn, like he can't even PayPal her because he had to cancel all his cards, and the card that he was gonna take the money out to PayPal from is canceled. He doesn't have no card. So we like, oh damn, you can't ask anybody else to PayPal Howard. This is red flag number 2 probably, when he says nobody else has PayPal. And I'm like, like in the moment it was just like, alright, whatever, because I'm like, you know, people don't have PayPal, I guess. But it's like, now that I'm really telling a story, red flag number 2, right? So we're like, damn, whatever. Then 10 minutes pass, and then he picks up the phone. Somebody calls him. He picks up the phone like, hello? And then I guess after he hangs up, he's like, oh, perfect. Like they were able to guide him a flight, gave him the ticket number. And so what he has to do now is to go to the airport, show them his military ID number. They'll print out his flight, and then he'll get on the next flight to the Honduras, right? I'm thinking because you're in the military, you know, you hold a little bit of weight, so you don't actually probably need your physical passport. Once you get your military ID number, like, you're good. Like, so I'm like, oh, that's great. But then he's like, oh, the man told him that there's an entrance fee for the Honduras, right? You need to pay $40 to enter the country. So being great, black, beautiful, independent woman, we're texting each other like, yeah, like we should help him. We could give him like $40 so he could get, you know, into the country, into the Honduras, so he could get his new passport, you know, trying to help a brother out, literally. And plus, like I'm gonna keep saying, we literally got robbed the first night. So I'm like, damn, like I'm texting Howard like, oh yeah, we should take out some money, and she's like, yeah, we could go to the ATM. But I'm like, I'm not gonna leave our cups on the table with this man that I don't know. So I'm like, you could stay. Well, she's like, I'm gonna stay, you could go. I'm like, okay, cool. And the ATM was across the street, right, in the gas station. So I take my bags, I go to the gas station, take out $80 because I don't know. I really felt him. And I didn't even mention, he legit started crying at the table, like tearing. A grown man tearing at the table. So I'm like, no grown man is gonna sit here and cry in front of 2 young girls for no reason, right? So I'm like, okay, like this is literally serious. And I would hate, and I don't even want to be that person that says that could never be me, but you never know. Like, I would hate to be stranded in a different country and like nobody helped me, you know? So I just put myself in his shoes, right? So I took out $80 and we gave it to him. At first we asked him if he needed us to call him an Uber to the airport, and he was like, no, he'll take the train or the bus. It was 50 cents or whatever. I'm like, all right, cool. So we gave him the $80. I gave him my email, and I was like, please email me when you touch down to the Honduras and you're safe. Like, I'm actually concerned and I want to follow up with you, right? Let me tell y'all what this man said his name was, which should have been red flag number 1,000 at this point. Carl Jackson, guys. He said his name was Carl Jackson. And I'm like at first in the moment, I'm like, okay, Carl Jackson, whatever, another black man. Stereotypical, I guess. But it's like, Carl Jackson? Like, every time I tell somebody the story, they like, bro, Carl Jackson? Come on, that's so typical. Like, whatever. So I gave him my email. I'm like, please email me. He emailed me right on the spot, like, hey, this is Carl Jackson. Thank you so much for your help. I'll reach out to you as soon as I land. When I came back to New York, it was just a day after we helped him, I emailed him like, hey, Carl, just checking in to make sure you're good. That was August 26th, I believe, or the 7th. Today is September 16th. I have not heard from Carl Jackson. Howard has not heard from Carl Jackson. Carl Jackson told us that when he landed wherever he landed, that he would PayPal Howard back the money. We didn't even want the money though. Like, I was more concerned about his safety. But it's like, I don't know, guys. Like, that was just my like strike 2, and I'm not getting a 3rd one. Like, after that, I'm like, yeah, Panama cannot see me. Like, I just felt unsafe. I feel like there were a lot of crooks out there. There's crooks everywhere, don't get me wrong. There are crooks everywhere. There are even crooks in New York City. There's crooks everywhere. But I just felt like, I don't know, when I travel, I don't like to be on edge. I just want to feel comfortable. I want to feel safe. I want to feel welcomed. And parts of Panama did give me that vibe. But I just feel like after getting robbed by my freaking taxi driver. And my thing is, how did you go in my bag? Like, was I on crack? Like, you legit had to go in my purse, take out my wallet, unzip the wallet, take out the cash. Like, where was I? And I never put my bag down. That's one thing I knew for sure. So it's like, did you do witchcraft on me? Like, okay, how was debit card was just singly laid in her bag, so maybe that could have dropped while she was taking out her phone or something. But me, I legit had my wallet inside of a bag, and inside the wallet was the cash, and you couldn't leave me with at least a 20. Like, I was so mad. And imagine that happening to you your first night. I couldn't even enjoy myself after that because I'm down 400 plus actually, because I spent money that night. I'm not gonna lie, like, this is not me telling you not to go to Panama. This is just me telling y'all, because I feel like y'all are like my friends. Like, I'm gonna put y'all onto the T, and what happened to me I do not want to happen to you. And maybe y'all watching this like, girl, you so dumb. But guys, like, I really didn't think that I've never traveled somewhere and felt like I would have to kill somebody before I leave. Not that I was going to kill somebody before I leave, but I've never traveled somewhere and felt like I really, like, I was like, the second day we were there, we legit didn't go out because we were so traumatized. Like, I felt so unsafe, like, literally so unsafe, especially not knowing how the money disappeared. Like, if I knew what happened, okay, I'll be fine. But it's like, I don't know what happened. I legit don't know what happened. That was really crazy. That, like, thinking about it is getting me dumb type all over again. But you know, everything happens for a reason. I feel like that was definitely a lesson learned. Next time I travel, I just act like the girl I am from New York City. I'm gonna be on my P's and Q's, and that's just that. If y'all really want to hear the full detail of the first time we got robbed, because that story is actually crazy and y'all might violate me for that, so I'm trying to like keep that in the tuck to save myself. But yeah, that story is a little crazy. But if y'all want to hear it, y'all interested, you want to know what's tea, how did we get robbed the first night for over $400, comment below, tell us the first story in detail, and I'll tell you guys the full story in detail. I think I'm done here. The Panama vlog will be dropping right after this, maybe like a couple days after. I'm still working on editing it. Panama was fun though. It was not a terrible country. I just felt unsafe, and I feel like it just like left a bad taste in my mouth. And I don't like to travel places, like I said, for the 1000th time and feel scared. Like, why would I do that? That's wasting my money and my time. Make sure you guys check out the Panama vlog when it does drop. And if you haven't checked out me and Howard's little clothing haul, make sure you check out the shorts that I dropped, because we look fuck good, period. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you guys. I'm so happy that I'm able to tell you guys this story, because if it happened to me, it could happen to anybody else, and I just want to make sure that you guys are aware. Love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Toodles.
Go out, run that shit up, nigga. I been running this shit up 7 days a week.